My goodness, chat is absolutely exploding today. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a good Monday. I just feel like we're getting close to the point of reaching that kind of critical mass of how much time can be spent hunting black bears before it gets unenjoyable. So I wanted to come to Revontuli Coast just about every time we come out here. We end up finding something super cool, so I thought maybe it would be a good way to switch it up, and we'll see if anything good happens here. Danny's in here, Mel's in here, I think I saw Will as well. As far as I know, Kyla's out walking, exercising. Doing good. Good, Toxic. What's up, CMB? Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we're gonna spook him off. That was something I was maybe considering doing today, was a bit of chasing geese and ducks. I don't know if we'll do a lot. It's so kind of situation specific, I guess. I should have bought some 22 rounds. We'll have to do that in a moment. Wow, that was bad. Alright, great start, but anyway. It's just, if you don't have your setup just right, it really doesn't go that well, and it lends itself a lot more to editing such things out. On hold with the internet company, been so long since I've moved, I've forgotten all the headaches. Yeah. That is something that is not enjoyable. Gifting memberships, that's cool. I'm glad YouTube's kinda trying that out. Revontuli best map. Tell you what, you can't beat the consistent trophies it tends to produce. That one's different. What was that? I think we hit the right one. It was very light in comparison. This is a brown. Watch, it'll be the exact same, or maybe we didn't get the right one, but I thought we did. Ask me to allow? Oh, are they not set? I don't know how it even works. That might be something I gotta look into. Okay. Ochre, perhaps? Yeah. Cool, I think we got a bright last time, so maybe we can put the multi-mount together for them. I don't know that we're necessarily going to have the room for it, but, you know, we can consider placing that. That was a burb. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. What's up, Graham? I've been moving into the new house. Very nice, dude. Hope that's going well. I know that can be a fairly stressful time. What shotgun is this? This is the 16 gauge from Rancho. Picture on your end's messed up. Is your resolution in the bottom right set to the right thing? Everything looks good on my end. Should be fine. Just saw Diamond Caper Kaylee, my game crashed. Did you shoot it? As long as you haven't shot it, it should still be there. Acid, thank you for the 16 months, by the way. Welcome back. Thank you for the lovely compliment as well. Is that a rabbit track? Nope. Rabbits will track. Female Caper Kaylee, not so much. Level 60 for 2 years. Finally got a diamond whitetail on Revontuli. Nice, dude. It's cool to, when you get new maps with old species and then you can maybe find something you've been looking for a long time. It's always nice, that new map kind of feel, to have stuff like that. Oh, you heard the Caper Kaylee? AirPods are too good. Finally got internet, so bored without it now that I'm on my own. Dude, when I first moved here, and I kind of had to move in by myself, I can't remember what was going on. Maybe, I guess my brother had started work by then. He was out of college. Not really sure what my sister was up to, but I basically had to move in on my own, and it was a long, like, maybe a 5-day process of more or less driving back and forth a couple times a day. But anyway, it took me about that entire 5 days to get the internet hooked up, and I was spending a ton of time still at my old apartment just recording videos or streaming and just getting everything set up. It's 20 years ago. If you don't have internet for the first couple days, no one cares. Now it's literally everything. Glad you know how to pronounce that, because I've been butchering it. What's that? Revontuli or Caper Kaylee, perhaps? I got a 4.99 Caper Kaylee, not a 4.97. Goodness. I haven't seen a 5 posted anywhere. 4.9 is as big as I remember seeing, and I don't even know for certain that I've seen a 5K shoot one anywhere. Is a 4.8 Caper Kaylee big? It is. Most kind of similar to what you'll often see with any of the turkey species. Most score 4.6 when you get to diamond. If you get a 4.7, that's pretty good. A 4.8 and up is the really big ones. By the way, I didn't really explain where we're going. Started here, kind of going into the south. We're going to try for some raccoon dogs today. I don't remember, I saw a comment or two on yesterday's video kind of talking about we always go for waterfowl, maybe we could look for something else. So we're going to start off with more land creatures to begin with, as we're shooting birds at the very start, but, you know, until we get there. How do you call it a duck? To land on the water. Okay, so I'll be honest, I need to learn more about the ducks, but I'll tell you all I know. I swear I just saw... I did. Oh, okay. This is dumb. So, I went like a month and couldn't get a Diamond Caper Kaylee. Got 2 yesterday, and now there's a level 3 right there. Alright. I'm not complaining. Caper Kaylee best boys, they are pretty cool. I would consider flushing it, but we're just gonna shoot over it with the 22. Get it the second time. Big male. What perfect time. I know, we're talking about birds and everything else, so that's not even the one I saw. I thought I saw one over there on the left. I promise I'll get back to the waterfowl question in a moment. We'll go and check out and see what that is. You get the one the game gives you them all, and it's just... It's called wild to a T. It really is. You can spend forever grinding for something and then get another one super quickly. Your great one, Red Deer Kyle, is a good example of that. Took you quite some time to get your first, and then you had a second one pretty quickly after that. Alright, maybe this time we'll do better than 4.6. Do they always have the white on their wings? I assume so. 4.7 this time, so that is actually our biggest Diamond Caper Kaylee. 7 minutes into the stream. Remember 7 minutes ago when I said that Revontuli tends to produce cool stuff? It did that again. But I guess that is just the way of things. So anyway, to get back to the waterfowl question before I end up forgetting about that. The first thing is they land into the wind. So basically what that means is you got the wind cone in the bottom right of the screen there. They would be landing basically directly towards us, that being into the wind. So I guess if you were to face the other way, if the wind is blowing into your face, basically how the wind cone looks now, they would be landing from your back towards your face, if that helps to make any sense. The next thing is decoys and using the correct color helps some, but that's the part you have to adjust. If you have your decoy spread out and you're consistently getting ducks landing 80 meters away to the left, just move things 80 meters away to the left. That tends to be the best method I've seen. I have 15,890 kills in the whitetail, and I will never grind whitetail again. I'm getting closer and closer to that feeling with black bear, and I'm nowhere near that many kills, so props to you for continuing through all that. I think I actually was miscounting my black bear kills a bit. I've been figuring I was getting about 30 per run, but it looks like I'm closer to 25. So I thought I was at 3,100 kills. I cut about 250 off of that number. So I'm more at like 2,850, and I'm slowly thinking this will be the only black bear grade 1 grind I do. What's up, Dylan? I noticed with the 22 truncated ammo, even though it has more penetration than the hollows, animals take longer to go down. Yeah, I found the same. The thing is, there aren't any class 1 animals that require a vital hit, and therefore the entire concept of 22 truncated ammo kind of, it doesn't make sense. You only really care about the expansion in killing them quickly. Getting a lung shot doesn't really help you. Now, if in the future they decide that rabbits should be headshot, which would be an interesting vital, but it wouldn't be terribly unrealistic, or if they decide, I don't know, turkeys should be shot in the lungs with the 22, then the truncated ammo makes sense. But as of now, I truly don't understand what the point of it is. You're already feeling like another black bear grind? I don't think I'm going to be doing another one. I've been putting in a ton of time, and I don't even know what I'm going to do. So, tomorrow's video is the West Virginia hunt, if you haven't caught that. It's on the Meat Hunters channel if you just can't wait to see it. Otherwise, it'll be uploaded on this channel tomorrow, the normal 5 p.m. Eastern upload time. Wednesday's video is going to be classic, so that's going to be 2 more days of black bear grinding before I do any more black bear grind content. And I already have like 7 interesting bears to put into a video. Like, I've been putting in the time, I'm getting trophies. I just haven't had that level 10 show up yet, so I don't know what the heck that video is going to look like on Thursday, but it's probably going to be a little bit odd. Have I missed any big males? We just killed our biggest diamond capercaillie, actually. 4.74, I think the weight was. Of course, the trophy rating shows 4.7. We'll have to see what it is in the trophy lodge. Probably 4.74-ish, somewhere in that general area. But, yeah, we got a diamond right off the bat. Raccoon dog laying down there. Alright, good. That's kind of what we're after. I need to... Man, I haven't seen one yet today. Honestly, I haven't seen one in a couple of days. There's some white on the underside of that thing, and I swear if I mess up a piebald, I just don't need to do that, so we're gonna get closer. Hyped up for the angler. I'm spooling some rods now. I cannot wait. I'd say I almost like bass fishing as much as them duck birds. That's a pretty big endorsement from you, I gotta say, knowing your love of the waterfowls. I'm pretty hyped about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to just pair incredibly well with playing the Hunter Call of the Wild, or maybe even the Hunter Classic. We'll see, but the concept of let's go hunt deer in the morning and go fishing in the evening for a stream, or, you know, vice versa, and all that kind of stuff, videos, streams, I just think it's going to be fun. By the way, I don't think that was the piebald, but worth the making sure we make a decent shot. Got some willows out there. Worth spotting those because for some reason our map likes to give us level 3s. How many diamonds do you have? That is an excellent question. The black bear has begun to increase that count quite a bit. 935. None of these numbers except for the total harvest are correct. All the way down through to gold, silvers, diamonds, great ones. They're all incorrect. Basically, when Bloodhounds came out, there was a... Basically, the devs attempted to put in a great one counter, and they kind of messed it up, and stuff was being counted incorrectly. So if you shot a diamond, it was being put into that great one counter. If you shot a gold, it was being put into the diamond counter. Fortunately, I was able to keep track of what our diamond should have been, and basically just it happens to be exactly 300 above what it, or below what it actually says. Stream day indeed, Vandals. How's it go, man? Where did this little burb go? There's a little burb. I have a tendency to take 2 shots to kill ptarmigan these days. What will you do for your 1000th diamond? I don't know if I'm going to try to do anything particularly special. I think it depends. Probably if we get to diamond number 999, I'll go into multiplayer somewhere. Multiplayer ensures that... Well, let me put it this way. If I were at 990 diamonds, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna hit 1,000 soon. So then I go into single player and just, like, you know, grind for a diamond mountain hare since I happen to see one. That makes the video less exciting, and it would be hard for me to fake it. Just to be like, hey, this is our 1000th diamond. Oh my god, a mountain hare. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but I think what I'll do is I'll go into multiplayer, and I'll try to make it cool. Maybe like a 400 meter thing, maybe a bow thing. Something different than what we normally do. Longbow might be kind of cool. Did we shoot anything special yet? We got a diamond capercaillie as like our second kill of the stream. Literally, we were talking about big capercaillies. Mel happened to shoot some big ones in the chat, and then I looked out in the field and there was a level 3. Do you have any tips on red deer grinding? I do have to say that I think Te Awaroa now, especially with the daylight drink time, is probably the best map for it, and I haven't done any red deer grinding on Te, so my advice would be specific to Quattro Colinas, but if you do intend to grind that map, I've got a guide on the way that I did it to get my great one red deer over there, so you could check that out on the channel. Banana. What happened? Oh, it was when the Diamond Moose showed up on Twitch. I was talking about banana birds, and then a level 5 moose is right in front of us suddenly. Hello. I can't hip fire. I always try, it never works. There's something with the 16 gauge that's still a little funky. I say we're not hunting birds, and there's just birds all around us. Just tuned in. What have you got so far? couple of smaller things. Had a level 5 raccoon dog, just a little silver. We did have a diamond capercaillie, and yeah, pretty much random other small birds. Grinding on Tay, got a great one with only 119 kills. That is insane. I'm hoping eventually one of the great ones is like that. One of our grinds can be super quick. Always gotta look with the gold 9 stuff. If we see a level 3, we'll set up and try to get it. That said, I don't have any tents on me today, so maybe today's not the best day for that. Bought some merch and it looks cool. Good, man. Was that from the... I think they just call it Spring? It used to be Teespring. Or is that Kyla's merchandise lane stuff? Is Dilute a rare for color? It is now. Okay. I don't know what has caused that. I know the mailman was already here, so it wasn't that. How many hours do you have in Call of the Wild? 5,599. We'll hit 5,600 today. Hello. Not the mail that we had tracks of. What's your least favorite food item that you just can't stand to eat? I've got a fair few that I'm not a fan of. Kyla likes to pick on me for not liking pickles, so I guess I'll go with that one. I don't generally enjoy, like, much... anything, like, that's fairly vinegary. Like, I'm not a fan of salad dressings or stuff like that. I'm, yeah, just anything in that category, not a fan of. What's your dog's name and breed? That is our dog Shadow. She is a Border Collie and Blue Heeler mix, at least according to the papers. It actually said just Blue Heeler mix. She does certainly appear to be a Border Collie, but I guess technically we can't be certain of that. One day we'll get a DNA test, see exactly what she is. Is that a big one, Danny? Oh, was that you coming in the door, Kyla? She was passed out. She didn't do a single thing when I started the stream. Get a doggy DNA test? Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I think it's weird. Like, I've seen so many people do it, and I'm always just like, who cares? It's a dog. And then you get your own dog. It's like, I want to know exactly what this dog is. I have to know. Just one of those things. There's a lot of those things in life where it's just like, when it's specific to you, it actually matters. Hello there. Biggest one on the full release. Can you turn, lad? You're not big enough for me to really wait on, so if you don't turn, I'm gonna shoot you in the head, or attempt to. Ooh. Oh, he was he was about to stop anyway, but we got the shot. Never, Danny. Actually, it's after we hit a $1 million donation goal. What is your goal for today? Honestly, just to run around and see if we can find anything cool. I wanted to take a break from the black bear grind. Just, a lot of time has gone in, a lot of kills. We're at about 2,850 right now, and no black bear great one in sight. So I just wanted to do something different. Already Revontuli got us a diamond capercaillie, so I'd say it's worth the switch to another map. Why does Kyla not stream? Because even though she'd be really good at it, she doesn't believe me when I say that. Did I miss anything? Just a diamond capercaillie. How many harvests do you have total? So this is the other thing that I'm trying to figure out. I can't decide if certain harvests aren't getting counted or what the deal is. 47,343, which obviously is a huge number, but I counted 20 black bear harvests on my last run just like an hour and a half ago, and according to the thing we had 16. So I can't figure out where the discretion is there. I don't know, maybe I miscounted, but sometimes I wonder if that's 100% accurate. Are you on Twitch? I stream on Twitch twice a week, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That is the Hunter Classic stream, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is a Call of the Wild stream. Why don't you use the 12 gauge? I don't like the open sights as much. My target acquisition, my accuracy is just not as good. Just the bead sight of the 16 gauge fits me more, and it's the same as in real life, actually. I had I always forget exactly, is it Mossberg, like a 535 or something, a pump shotgun with the front and rear sights, and I'm just not very accurate with it. A shotgun with a bead sight though, which is what I just bought this past year for turkey hunting, I tend to just, for whatever reason, I have an easier time getting on target and I tend to have better shooting, and for whatever reason that also translates into Call of the Wild. No, that's what I'm saying, Mistress. Sometimes I wonder if it's miscounting some stuff. You have 20 great ones? Yeah, that also is incorrect. So I was talking about that earlier, but I'll explain it again for anybody that maybe missed that. So a little over a year ago now, in March of 2021, when Bloodhounds came out, they tried to introduce a Great One counter, and I don't know exactly what went wrong, but basically I think they put a Great One counter in here, but they forgot to change where the harvests were being counted into. So when you would harvest a gold, it would go into your diamond counter. When you'd harvest a silver, it would go into your gold counter, and if you'd harvest a diamond, that was going into your Great One counter. It just, I think they forgot to move the address of where things were supposed to be added to, or something like that. But basically, I shot, I guess, 19 diamonds in the about month where they had that wrong, because I did have one Great One by then. My second Great One, or I guess, wait, math is hard. 18 diamonds, because I already had one. That would have, yeah. Anyway, the counter is very wrong, and unfortunately there's no fix for that, so it's just going to be off by 18 for forever. Should use the red dot scope? I just also don't do well with that. There's something about a 100% unobstructed view of everything around the gun that I like. Now, when it comes to waterfowl hunting in particular, when you have a bird or anything you're trying to shoot with a shotgun that's flying like from low to high, your gun will block that, and that can be a little annoying. But other than that, I just, for my personal way of operating a pixelated gun, I guess, it seems to work the best. How long have you played the game for? I've played from the very beginning. I actually was fortunate enough, due to the generosity of a viewer back in December of 2016, able to beta test the game. They had a really interesting beta system. They did like almost a lottery draw beta. So basically, you would enter your email into a drawing, and I don't know what percentage of those emails got drawn, but I actually didn't get drawn. There was a viewer though that put in like 5 emails and got drawn twice, and they, I guess through Discord, I don't remember, sent me the code for the second one. I was able to play the game in that kind of early access / beta, whatever you want to call it, and I bought the game on release that next February. This is what I like to see. If only I could spot them more. You know, sometimes I think we're really lucky with ptarmigan, but I do kill a lot of them things. 24, almost 25. Old, officially, in a couple months. You sound 20, but look 12. Thanks, man. I feel it. I've told this story on stream before. So when I moved into my apartment, I was almost 21? Would that be right? Yeah, it's 2018. So, first thing I did, given my line of work, was contacted an internet company and wanted to get internet hooked up. So I think there's like 4 different little apartments in this one building. So I was watching out the window, a guy gets there, I walk down the stairs because I wanted to, you know, meet him outside so we knew what building or what particular apartment he was supposed to go to. I walked out, he's like, hey, are you here to get the internet or whatever? And I was like, yep. And he's like, all right, is there an adult? It's like, bro, I'm almost 21. I called. I need the internet. It was awkward. I turned 39 next month. Maybe I should leave. Hey, we'll all get there one day. I hope that I'm still, you know, hanging around the hunting game simulation genre at 39 and 59 and beyond. What is a tip for hunting elk? I guess it depends which species of elk, Rocky Mountain or Roosevelt, but I mean, drink times are always a good bet. I play the Hunter a lot and I'm on the 7mm, but I don't know what gun to buy after that. Do you have the Yukon Valley DLC? The 338 is an upgrade over the 7mm, but specifically for the really big game. So the 7mm can take anything from basically deer and up. Ethically, you can shoot anything from your whitetail all the way up to water buffalo with it. If you have the Yukon Valley DLC, you'll have access to the 300, which is basically just as good as the 338, but it's also got a full round capacity, whereas the 338 is a single shot, which obviously that can be a huge plus in certain scenarios. Oh, really, Mel? I'm 50 and still playing, got my diamond hair today. Oof. I'm jealous of that. If there's one diamond on this map that I'm worried about, it is the mountain hair. Congrats, man. Tips on hunting alligators. You know, that's something I'm also not incredibly good at. If you run up the west side of Mississippi, they're all over by that river. But what you have to take into account when hunting gators is you have to make a really good shot, or they can escape. They can... Basically, what the game is simulating is if they dive into deep water and then drown, they're basically gone forever. They don't float to the surface. So you gotta make sure they die before they get into deep water. One thing that I had pretty decent success with was the 454 up close. That did pretty good. 454 specifically with the, I don't know the name of them, but I probably have them, so I'll tell you. The ones... These. The Jacket of Hollow Points. The 100 expansion does a lot of damage. You just have to make sure that you're hitting a lung and not taking maybe a tough angle shot, because the penetration stat's significantly lower. There was one instance there where the red dot would help me when it was flying upwards, by the way. I'm not ready for bow season yet, Charles. I'm excited for it, but I definitely have a good bit more shooting to do. I should have my new arrows coming in from TK here shortly. We're going to be running the Meat Seeker Stingers this year, so I got to get those set up, and I got to paper tune my bow, all that good stuff. I did buy like a cheap target stand off Amazon, and I think it's going to be a perfect little paper tuning apparatus, so that should be good. Those little technical things like paper tuning and tuning for fixed blade broadheads, I've really come to enjoy that stuff, so I'm looking forward to that part of the summer. Plus, as hot as it's been getting in the house lately, any time spent outside tends to be a bonus. Is there any females that can reach diamond in Revontuli? Willow ptarmigan for certain. Both male and female willow ptarmigan make diamond, or can make diamond. Mountain hare are female only. You cannot get a male diamond mountain hare. I'm unsure about rock ptarmigan. Does anybody know if the female rock ptarmigan can make diamond? I know the willows do. Is that it? I think that's it. That's not what I want. Well, guess we'll wait for that to flush again. Do you know the weight requirement for diamond moose? In kilograms, it's 545 to 620. I do not know in pounds. Are you going to make a video content on the angler? I certainly intend to. How'd you get the gun you just had? The 308? That's from the AR weapon pack, or modern weapon pack, I think they call it. Modern rifle weapon pack? It's modern something. I think modern weapon or modern rifle. Joe, thank you for... I don't know why this is new member, despite the fact that it's 17 months, but either way, welcome back, man. I appreciate it. How you doing today? Aren't the Meat Seeker arrows TK signature ones? Yes. The Stingers, I think, are new. Last year with the Lung Busters, I like those. I'm still shooting them. I find that they are very consistent with the groups that I've been getting. But the Stingers are 5mm. I want to say the Lung Busters were 6mm. I have a habit of placing my shots too close to the shoulder. And a good combination of I can't, it's not narrow, I guess it kind of is, a smaller diameter arrow, let's just call it that. And a good fixed blade broadhead sometimes can help, like if I maybe would nick the shoulder blade or something, get that extra penetration, there's kind of less surface area to cause friction and slow down the arrow. So I'm pretty excited to go with the 5mm ones. That was what I was using in what year was that? When did I have the Freedom Flinger? 2020? Yeah. Yeah, that would have been right. So, the year that I killed the 3 does with the bow, which is the most deer that I've killed in one season with a bow, those are 5mm arrows, so hopefully that'll help things. I kind of want to stop shooting a million ptarmigan, but I can't help it when they fly by. Does TK make crossbow bolts? I can ask him. I don't know. That'd be a smart niche to get into, I think. It's a fairly thick female willow. I mean, listen, I just talked about not shooting birds, but if you're gonna fly right by me, I can't help it. 2019 would have been the Hoyt, I think, Danny. Did I say 20? I don't know what I said. 2020 is the Freedom Flinger, I'm pretty sure. Killed my first diamond yesterday. What was your first diamond? Back, I think October 30th of 2017. My first diamond was a musk deer after quite the struggles in trying to get a diamond. So like sometime, maybe 2 months before Medved came out, I kind of became aware of what a diamond was. Prior to that, you know, for my first 6 months of playing Call of the Wild, didn't have a clue what the heck the scoring system meant. Generally, I just ignored it. It was very different than Classic, and I just didn't get it. So anyway, fast forward to, say, August, September, sometime in there, I finally understand what a diamond is. And on probably like 3 separate occasions, I attempted to shoot what I thought was going to be a diamond, and in one way or another went awry. I had a level 5 moose, which I tried to make a lung shot on, because I kind of understood that quick kill was a thing and that you were supposed to make good shots, but I didn't know that I should have went for a heart or maybe a spine shot back then. Now, spine shots wouldn't work now, but for the sake of the story, I didn't know that. So that one, I lost a little too much quick kill. It ended up being a gold. Then, I made a heart shot on a bigger level 5 moose, but I didn't have consecutive harvest. Back then, that was a part of trying to get a diamond. I also had a level 8 bear that I was just convinced was going to be a diamond. That one never had a chance. And then finally, a level 3 musk deer. That one, all the things came together, full quick kill, full consec, and that one made diamond. Oh, that's unfortunate, Will. I feel it, though. When something that you spend a lot of time tracking trolls, it feels like an injustice was done. 1k kills, 12 diamonds, and 1 rare into my whitetail Great One grind. Hopefully you get it, man. Whitetails seem to be about like a 1500 to maybe 1800 average. So maybe you'll get lucky and get it on the lower end of that, or, I mean, who knows, but fingers crossed. Should I get this map? I would highly recommend it. Revontuli is a really fun map. It's got, basically, non-stop something happening. Whether it's geese, whether it's ducks, whether it's the ptarmigan. It's almost difficult to not find things. You haven't felt pain until you've killed 7,500 red deer. I don't know at what point the grind of any kind pain begins. For red fox, it was about 2. I was pretty over that one quite quickly. Quick scope, a diamond, or a rare. Okay, so when you say quick scope, do you just mean this? Or when you say quick scope, are you talking about more, let me get something with an actual scope on it, more like that. I'm sure I've done that on occasion, because sometimes you just kind of have to make a super quick shot. I don't know if I've hip shot a diamond, though. Great One gray lag the size of a condor? I don't know. You know, there's been a lot of discussion about Great One geese or waterfowl being a banded bird. I don't think that's enough. I think there's got to be more to it. Took me 200 elk for my diamond. That's not too bad. Pretty solid. With the scope, I could try it. Like I said, I've probably done it on some random occasion, but not really something where I've been, say, challenged to do it. If we get the opportunity, I can attempt such a thing, if I remember. Looking for a diamond whitetail after 11,000 kills? That's pretty absurd. That's some kind of RNG gods laughing at you type of numbers. I can't believe that. You hit fire your diamond caper Kaylee? I don't think I did. The one yesterday? I believe I aimed at that one. Has the new great one been discovered? It's Black Bear, yeah. What's up, Scarecrow? How'd your grind go over on Tay, I believe it was? Did they change the grizzly bear drink time? I wouldn't be surprised. I know Yukon was among the maps that got a reset, but I don't have a clue what the new time may be, if it got changed at all. I've been literally only on Revontuli Coast and Silver Ridge Peaks in terms of actual hunting since the update. I have been on like Hirsch or random maps where I switch off of Silver Ridge Peaks for 2 seconds to kind of trigger respawns. Other than that, haven't looked at another map. Are you going to the Steelers training camp? I'd like to. I don't think I'm gonna get to this year. I went probably the year after their Super Bowl season, like maybe 2006. I remember seeing Kiesel, Heath Miller, Hines Ward walked right by me. I swear, maybe this is my like 9-year-old memory being incorrect, but I swear that he was going to sign a thing of mine, and a guy kind of like stepped in front of me, and he just signed that guy's thing instead. But maybe said guy got his attention, and he stepped in front of me because he needed to be closer to where he was. Anyway, it was cool, but it's just such a crowded place, and I don't like crowded places, so I don't know. Where are we on the map? We're on the basically southernmost point in the center of the map right now. I got bodied, I did. Jawas, am I saying your name right? I hope I got at least close. Thank you for the super chat. Your beginner series has helped me learn this game. Thanks for getting me into the game. Gonna buy my first lodge soon and try to fill it. I hope that you have as much enjoyment in trying to fill that lodge as I have. That's been the #1 factor that's kept me playing this game as long as I have. The trophy lodges and trying to just make the best possible lodge is so much fun, and I'm glad the videos have been helpful. Is a cinnamon brown bear rare? Cinnamon brown bears are basically uncommon. Cinnamon black bears are rare. Didn't have any breath. Going Thursday? Nice. Hopefully you can... I don't know if you're going with the hope of getting any kind of autographs or anything, or just going to watch, but maybe you can have better luck with that than I did many years ago. Met Andrew Luck when I was a lot younger. That's cool. Maybe I'm wrong, but he certainly seems like one of the cooler athletes to meet. Like, I feel like he would be very present and not disregarding you, especially if you're younger. Opinion on the looks of the map? I mean, I'll be honest, I've never hunted in Finland, or been to Finland for that matter, but I have seen TK's Finland hunting footage from a couple of years now, and I do think a lot of the areas look very similar, so I think they did a pretty good job. Burbs, cats, smoles. Still only killed 1 raccoon dog, so we'll try to keep with the task at hand here. Just bought Revontuli, what do I do? What I would say is to go around all the lookout points and start unlocking the outposts. A lot of people will do that by 4-wheeler. I prefer to walk or run it, just because you never know what you're going to run into. You might find a heavy track that you want to follow. You might hit disturbed edge that shows a rare. And one of the other things that happens is as you're just exploring the map, you're going to pass by bodies of water, and you might just happen to get the right time for a particular species drink time. And if you get really lucky, you could end up finding a hotspot by doing that. That's one of the reasons that I do it. I want to... As I'm exploring the map, if I'm going to be out and running around anyway, I might as well try to learn where maybe some of the good areas are, and I think you can do that while getting those lookouts. I wonder if that second shot was actually good. Did I miss anything? We killed a diamond capercaillie, I think 7 minutes in, right at the beginning of the stream. It was our biggest one so far, 4.7. I fall asleep to your videos tonight. That's pretty cool. I feel like that's something that's only become common in the last, like, maybe 10 years-ish, like falling asleep to YouTube videos. I do that, obviously not to my own, because that'd be weird, but I'm glad to be a part of the routine there. Favorite map and least favorite map. My favorite remains Layton Lakes. A lot of it is nostalgia, a lot of it is I just like hunting antler species, and Layton has the most of those. And while you don't see me hunt Layton as much anymore, it's still my favorite. It's still a map where, you know, if I jump on Call of the Wild and have no idea what I want to do, if I go and hunt Layton, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Like I said, I haven't hunted it as much, say, in the last year or so. It's hard to, you know, as you continue hunting a map, you end up finding trophies. It's just a natural thing, and eventually you get less and less to strive for. That said, Layton still remains my favorite. Least favorite, it's probably Hirschfelden, and I feel like it shouldn't be, because I like Hirschfelden, I do. Just only in the right setting. And if the setting is like for a stream, or if the setting is I just feel like going and hunting, generally I'll enjoy it. If the setting is for a video and I really want to find something good, like maybe, let's say, because this is maybe a dumb thing, but a factor for me when it gets about this time, the last week-ish of every month, is I start to try to make sure I have enough trophies for the monthly montage. And if I were to go and hunt Hirschfelden on, say, tomorrow, July 26th, which is not the plan, tomorrow's video is a real-life hunt, but anyway, I would really be, like, conscious of that and be like, alright, try to get something good, try to find, you know, a diamond or a rare or something. And if I end up on Hirschfelden for like 4 hours and I can't find anything, that just gets frustrating, but I don't know. I do think it's a cool map. The amount of animals can make it tough. Sounds like it's time for a rest, Mill. Not to get arrested, just a rest. What if Hirsch only likes you in a specific setting? Well, the feeling's mutual, I guess. I want to get into Classic, but I have no idea where to look for animals or much of anything. In general, do you have any tips? One thing that might be a good way to start for that is to go to like a Logger's Point type map, a map that is generally quite open. I think giving yourself the ability to have a bit of margin of error, maybe, you know, spot animals a little farther away because it's open rather than spooking them. I think that could be good, but generally the way to find animals for me is just to kind of roam around and wait for them to call. Maybe move slowly, crouch walk if you have to, and when you get a deer to call, you can call that in with your bleat caller or try to stalk if it's a different species, if you don't have a caller for it. Yes, Mel. For mass bear shooting. Hirsch is just a different way of hunting on this game. It makes a nice change every now and again. Yeah, it does. That's why I tend to like it, because I don't go there much. If I decide I'm gonna hunt Hirsch, it's a different level of like optimism at the very beginning, because I'm like, I just know I'm gonna be hunting a different way, a different terrain. I know I'm going to be probably challenging myself to perhaps try a little harder to try to achieve the same results that I may get on another map. But like I said, if I do have an aspect of like, I need to find something cool for this video or for this montage for the month, that can kind of ruin it. Have you seen the movie The Longest Yard? Oh boy, maybe? I don't know. I've seen a lot of the, like, that's a football movie, isn't it? I've seen a lot of such things. You just can't hunt Hirsch fast? You kind of used to be able to. I feel like there was a time where that was a little more feasible, but I don't know. Maybe it was the bison, because they wouldn't really flee as much, so you could just kind of shoot a ton of them, they would just sort of go aggressive. I felt like I used to hunt Hirsch fast. I used to do a ton of Hirsch content. If you go back, oh, I don't know, to early 2018, maybe April-ish, I was doing a lot of bison hunts. Keep up the great content. I'll definitely do my best, man. Thank you. What's your favorite piebald? As far as like piebald pattern? I mean, the mustier and the roadier are up there. They look really good. Are the boats on any other map? There is at least one on Quattro Cleanest, and there's a fair few on Mississippi Acres. When do I know that I'm done with Leighton Lake District? Is this in the, like, are we talking fairly new to the game? Not sure when to move to a new map? It really doesn't matter. You could play until you complete the missions. You could just wait till you get bored and want to go experience something else. You can wait till you get a diamond of every animal. Like the beauty of Call of the Wild, and the reason that I think it's so replayable for so many people for, you know, literally many thousands of hours, is that it's pretty much up to you. There's no blueprint. You're not. I've talked about Capella's games in the past, how you kind of get led around, you know, to certain objectives. You can play as you want, make up your own story. I think it's cool. It's something that is entirely free and open world, I guess. Do you fish? I do. I would like to fish more than I do. It's just one of those things. Timing is a factor there. Now, we have a creek that runs through the front yard. I did a lot more fishing this spring than I had, goodness, in the last 5+ years. The problem is, and I would still do some now, it's so overgrown other than right in the yard that it's almost difficult to walk through to go upstream at all. Bottom Boy, thank you for the 23 months, by the way. Today's a big day indeed. One away from the big double 12. Welcome back, dude. I appreciate it. Hopefully that alert's gonna go off. I thought they fixed it to where, like, membership renewals do. I don't know. Do you think diamonds have gotten more common since the beginning of the game? So I'm unsure about this. I don't know if the developers maybe increased the rate of diamond spawns at all. I kind of thought maybe around Virhunga that maybe, here's the way that you could maybe look at this. Diamonds are kind of like the top 5% of possible scores. So if you look at, what would be a decent example? I'm trying to think of something that maxes at a really easy number. Jeez, I don't know. Gemsbuck? Here, let's do that. Gemsbuck max at 358. So I'm gonna do a calculation real quick. 358 times 0.95 is 340.1. Gemsbuck Diamond is 337.5. So you're more in the area of top 7% of animals, something like that. I do think maybe diamonds are a little more common, but mostly what it is that players have figured out how to effectively hunt for them. From hunting drink zones more often to, you know, if you see a male animal, shooting it to get that respawn, to things like grinding for diamonds, the great ones, and all that stuff. That has significantly increased the amount of diamonds that people run into. I think it's mostly that. Maybe diamonds are a little bit easier, like a percentage or two more likely to spawn than in the past. But I think it's mostly the community's understanding of like how diamonds and stuff work. I originally meant it was big because I set up the internet service at our new house, and that was the only thing hesitant to us moving, so now it's full steam ahead. Oh, nice! When do you think that's going to be happening then? My brother killed 2 diamonds today. Nice. Maybe you could give advice what reserve to purchase in Call of the Wild? Generally, my advice is this when it comes to which reserve to purchase, because it is so so much a matter of personal preference when it comes to reserves. A lot of people don't really care too much for Revontuli because it's mostly small game. I actually quite like the small game aspect. It's almost non-stop action. So what I tend to say is, if you don't know this, you can play any reserve even if you don't own it in multiplayer. So what I would do is just go into multiplayer, try out every map. If there's one you like, maybe consider purchasing that. If you don't like it, then obviously, you know, not one to purchase. Another thing that can be worth knowing, let's say you only have the funds to buy one map. More popular maps are going to have multiplayer sessions open more often, so you're more likely to be able to, you know, go and be able to play a map even if you don't own it for a map that's popular. So say Verhunga Savannah. To this day, despite the fact that the map's almost 4 years old, it's a very popular map. There's always, or almost always, a bunch of multiplayer servers open for it. That helps. That's a big deal. Maybe Cuatro Colinas. I think Mississippi Acres is kind of going this way. Some maps that aren't as popular, if you like them, I'd kind of more consider purchasing those. Because if you want to hunt Verhunga Savannah and you don't own it, pretty good chance you can play it in multiplayer. If you want to hunt Mississippi Acres and you don't own it, maybe. There might be a server open, there might not be. I don't know if that's something that you want to consider, but I would definitely try to keep that in mind when it comes to which map you want to purchase. What is the most diamonds or rares you've gotten in a day? I had a stream on Parque Fernando once where I killed 7 in 2 hours, but Parque Fernando is, at that time, it was just different. Diamond Blackbuck and Diamond Axis Deer were very common, Diamond Cinnamon Teal were very common, and as I recall, it was 2 Diamond Cinnamon Teal, I think 2 Diamond Blackbuck, a Diamond Axis Deer, and then a Diamond Red Deer and Mule Deer. So really there were only 2 that were actually kind of rare. Now I also had, right when Trophy Lodges came out, a Verhunga stream with 6, but I knew 3 of those animals were on the map. Basically, Trophy Lodges were announced probably like a month before they came out, and I knew that, so I started just saving cool stuff that I found to put in the lodge once the lodges came out. Shadow probably will get a great one before me. Kyla's working on her second grind, trying to really embarrass me. Verhunga's worth it for the missions? That's true. I didn't consider the missions in the purchase side of things. Some maps have really good missions. Verhunga's got a really cool story. Quattro's got good mission animals. Anything newer than Verhunga other than Quattro doesn't have much for mission animals. And honestly, like, even going from Parque, the story started to be a little lackluster. Mississippi? I was so excited about it. I thought it was going to be more than it was. I think the idea of gators and the fact that community wanted them so much, I thought that was going to just be, I guess, kind of the defining factor. And I think what hurt it was, as much as I like the challenge, it's hard for a lot of people to consistently kill the gators without them escaping, and that just kind of makes people want to go and hunt something else, and fair enough. I've had plenty of hunts where I try to go and hunt gators and I'm just not on with my shooting that day, and I'm just like, no. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm not interested in having all my things I shoot escape today. Where did the... Place the waypoint? Oh. Did I place it in the right spot? No. Excuse me? What? Okay. Game is slightly broken, perhaps? Yeah, Rack, if you wanna... if you wanna send it to my address, I'll get that taken care of. No worries. Gators were a massive disappointment. I do like that they came up with a new mechanic, like you can't win that as a developer, because if you do, you know, cookie cutter, same thing as everything else, everybody's going to say, well, the gators aren't even special, they're just like every other animal. But then, they make them challenging, and it's just like, well, these are, kind of annoying. They could be too difficult. I always check to see if there's any level 5. I barely kill any geese, so I gotta start hunting those things if I ever want to actually get a diamond, but you never know, one could just be flying around. Did anybody order some ptarmigan? They seem to be airmailed directly to us. Well, that was fun. Yes, of course, track. I was still hyped for gators, now I'm almost never hunting them, not because I dislike them, that I just don't care anymore. I do still want another rare gold gator, so that's one aspect of still caring for me about the gators, but other than that, I gotta be honest, I'm basically at the same point. You can only... I guess this is what it is. For me, at least. You can only have that kind of adrenaline rush of, you know, making the shot and seeing the gator go down so many times before it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, got that one too. Now it's just annoying when they escape as opposed to like really cool you actually got one. Does that make sense? What loadout? Running with the 16 gauge, 308 for moose and bear, 243 for raccoon, dogs, and lynx, and 22 for any longer shots. Speaking of that, I have 2 rounds. Gonna go and buy some ammo. Is this Mississippi? This is Revontuli Coast. Alright, let's see. Rifle ammo. Gonna buy a whole bunch of this stuff. Not that it'll last that long. Meanwhile, the birds fly away when I'm 300 meters away. It depends on what you're hunting. I kind of find black grouse tend to do that, but ptarmigan just, for some reason, think it's a really good idea to land right beside me all the time. I thought that was that red at first. At the rate I was shooting there, I was starting to think we might never find out, but just a brown. And we got geese and ducks everywhere. One of these days, I'll actually hunt them. That 4 is kind of nice. Can I actually hit that with the 22 and all the ammo we just bought, especially with 2 rounds actually loaded? I highly doubt it. Alright. He lives another day. Oh god, bottom boy. Yeah. You are the victim in this scenario. How'd you miss 2 out of 3 shots in that fart chicken? Badness. How much cash do you have? The Blackbird grind has seriously inflated my cash numbers. 18.5 million now we're sitting at. I do think the devs smashed it on Rev. Probably their best overall release so far. Let's see if we can get something out of this. Who knows what? I don't shoot well at this particular spot almost ever. Some teal. I wouldn't mind getting a diamond teal. That was the one that we had on early access. And unfortunately, as many of you guys probably know, the early access kills basically didn't count, so we had to start fresh. And therefore, we effectively have no diamond teal. Oh, we actually grabbed the right color. No, that's widgeon, isn't it? No, this is it. Alright. Is there anything in the store you don't own? Oh boy, I have no idea. There could well be. Dude, I didn't know there was a hazel grouse collar until like a week ago? Nope, that ain't it. I didn't even... Where did the goldeneye come from? This is why this spot becomes a problem. I don't know what's around. I'm always afraid there's going to be a diamond that I'm missing, so I just sit here forever, and then I don't kill anything. I don't think being 0 for 75 was intentional, but eh. Made it work. I'm not planning on staying here long. I just wanted to smoke some ducks. Got to run. Glad I was able to stay for a bit. Gotta go get my fish ice chest for my parents. Nice, dude. Sounds good. Appreciate you hanging out. Alright, what did we get? Female goldeneye. I swear we killed one out of the air. And then another one further away. I don't know what this one was. Another female goldeneye. I thought there was a drake. Guess this? It was that, but that also wasn't a drake. Alright. That tends to be the case. Shooting a bunch of females. Okay. Let's see if we can go and take the boat. What are we hunting? Kind of anything. I stopped over here real quick to shoot some waterfowl, but trying to continue hunting mostly land creatures today. Raccoon dogs, stuff like that, has been the main focus. Yeah, bottom boy in the southeast. Little islandy area. On the Ratatouille map. Could you explain why you say waterfowl? I thought it was the name of a species, but now I'm confused. I'm kind of technically incorrectly lumping ducks and geese into the category of waterfowl. I don't think geese are technically waterfowl. They might be. But yeah, I basically mean all ducks and geese when I say waterfowl. Codex lore. Is it probably this thing that I haven't clicked on yet? I always end up forgetting about those things, and then like I'll be running right towards it, and I'll look on Discord for a second and run right by it. What gun do you use on your Eurasian Lynx? 243. As for ducks and geese, the 16 gauge. Thought ducks and geese were both waterfowl? I think it might depend on like what type of geese. I don't know. Geese are definitely waterfowl. Okay. I thought certain geese that were more like land geese were maybe not waterfowl. I guess that explains why no one's correcting me when I say that. I have killed my 300th whitetail on Rev, and the last 5 have been 220s. Still no rares or diamonds besides an initial spawn piebald doe. I wouldn't say that's incredibly uncommon. Perhaps a bit unlucky, but that's just kind of the nature of the randomness. I thought I was doing so good by having multiple diamond tufted ducks, but I can't even get away from the things. Been a part of the subscriber base to your channel for every bit of 3 years now. You have got me started on Call of the Wild, and I can't thank you enough. My pleasure, man. Appreciate you sticking along. That's a long time, dude. 700 kills in with 9 diamond whitetail and 3 rares. I swear they come in waves. Like my black bear grind. In the last like 3 days, I've had. I won't give the breakdown of what they were, but rares and diamonds probably about 10, which has nearly doubled my total count. A goose is a bird of any of several waterfowl species in the family of whatever that is. Good to know. Are you on multiplayer or just single player today? You have 2 tufted ducks and no others? Same here. Twinning out here. What is your least favorite video you've made? There have been ones that have been more difficult than others. Let me be clear, I'm not saying this is my least favorite video. One of my favorites, actually, the Choose Your Own Hunt. That was really tough to make. That took a ton of time in editing and recording, and honestly, the thing that nobody saw was like all the scouting and stuff that went into it, because I had to have, if you've seen it, you'll know, somewhat like at least similar trophies to choose between for the viewer to decide what to go after next. So I'd be hunting and getting respawns and scouting all just to accomplish that. As for the least favorite I've made, I don't know that I could put one in that category. Nothing strikes me as like, yeah, that video was awful, you know what I mean? Favorite classic competition? I do like the recurve competition. I've been fairly successful in that one. That's the one competition I've won the most over my years of playing classic. Besides the obvious, what is the benefit of multiplayer? So I'm going to guess by the obvious you mean the potential for maybe chatting with others in the game to alleviate some of the monotony that can come with, you know, potentially running for kilometers looking for big stuff. So a couple of things. One big plus of multiplayer is the aspect of the unknown. So once you've hunted your own map for, I don't know, 10 hours of gameplay, 20 hours of gameplay, something like that, you have a pretty decent grasp of what's where. What I mean by that, if you don't know, every map has what's called an animal population file. And basically, because of that, from one hunt to the next, your population is persistent other than any animal that you shoot will be replaced by a new animal. This level 1 mountain hare male that I'm not going to shoot, that same exact animal will be there next hunt, and the hunt after that. And until I shoot it, it's always going to be there. When you shoot something, perhaps one of these gray lackeys, if you can get it, that animal on the next hunt will be replaced by something brand new. So, I don't know what the percentage of animals you see and don't shoot versus the percentage of animals you see and do shoot is, but for me, I would bet at most 20% of the animals I see are animals I actually end up shooting. So, math would say that about 80% of the animals I see every hunt are the same ones I've seen on previous hunts, and that can get a little bit boring. Multiplayer kind of solves that problem. Did I really miss all those shots? Goodness gracious. And anyway, even if they're the same 80% of animals for the host, they're new to you, and that can make things really interesting. And of course the ability to, you know, hunt a separate set of animals on a map on, say, like 3 different servers, obviously that can increase your odds in certain ways. How would you feel if they added another Alaskan map that's in the Arctic, including Arctic fox, polar bear, muskox, and Dall sheep? You're appealing to my affinity for Cabela's Alaskan Adventures, so I'd be all about it. Now, musk deer would be tough. Any kind of long-haired animal they've done, like in Classic with the feral goats, for instance, they're a little less than great as far as the models go, but I think they could probably do well. Alright, guess there were more geese. Polar bear would be pretty cool, Daniel. Now, they haven't been Classic, and that didn't cause too much backlash, but initially when they kind of introduced the concept of having polar bear in the game, and the way that they approached it was there were only going to be certain periods of time when you could actually hunt them. I think you were able to shoot them if they charged you no matter what, because like self-defense or whatever, but you wouldn't be able to, say, like even take a trophy shot of it, as I recall. So that most people weren't a fan of, which I'm sure that won't surprise a lot of you. And because of that, they ended up just making it to where you could hunt them whenever. And like I said, they didn't end up with any backlash. That ended up going over pretty well. I don't see why they couldn't do that in Call of the Wild. No, I'm the same way about them, boy. The way you hunt muskox in real life is they all kind of huddle up and you just walk to within 60 meters and you try to get a shot at one to where you're not going to hit several. It's not like, how are we ever going to find a trophy muskox? Like, it's probably in that herd. You just have to get it to separate from the herd a little bit. What about a northern Midwest map? Whitetail, black bear, fox, coyote, raccoons, ducks, geese, and maybe moose. So what's tough is all of those species are already in the game, and I think it becomes a really tough selling point. That's not to say I wouldn't enjoy a map like that. I've always thought some kind of like a whitetail map with snow, for instance, would be really cool. But I think from a development perspective, and maybe more importantly a marketing perspective, they need something new to get players to buy the map, and I just don't know that, say, snow and even, I'm not even sure if running behavior would do it. Would you like Truax 2.0 where non-typical and typical whitetail can be a possibility? Yeah, you know, Classic has stickers on their Truax, and if you don't know what stickers are, it's like a... I wish I had a deer to use the harvest screen to draw it, but for anybody that doesn't know what a sticker is, it's basically just a tine that grows off of another tine. Maybe that's the best way to say it. And in the Boone and Crockett scoring system, that would be a deduction. Unless you score it as a non-typical, then it's actually an addition. It's a little bit odd. I wouldn't even be too upset if they just added the possibility of stickers. They wouldn't have to do non-typicals in the same way that Classic did with, like, you know, crazy racks and stuff. Just, you know, if a buck has... Use the Pope and Young system. If a buck has 15 inches of non-typical points, it's a non-typical. Otherwise, it's a typical. I'll be honest, I don't like that system in real life. But for in-game purposes, it could fit pretty well. A sticker you get from the store, yes. Give us a Saskatchewan map, because that's such a fun word. Dude, Deer Hunter 4 had a Saskatchewan map, and I always killed big males there. Deer Hunter 4? Or Deer Hunter 5? One of the two. Well, this is a respawn bear at this point. Those shots were not good. A truck sticker window? Truck window sticker? Something? A Siberian map would be cool. Is Medved Taiga not technically a Siberian map? Where's a good spot to hunt birds on this map and what time? Honestly, the time doesn't seem to matter. And it depends on what kind of birds you want. If you want willow ptarmigan, for instance, down here in the south is quite good for them. They tend to fly all around, even if you don't hit them. The northwest, though, black grouse, capercaillie, hazel grouse, they're all through up there. Hey, so sometimes it's about the respawn, David. What's going on, man? Medved's 100% Siberia? I thought it was, but I thought maybe there was some kind of technicality that made it not. You could have turkeys, pheasant, and quail in the Midwest? Yeah. Again, though, they're all species we already have. On the West Coast, we just measure branches, spikes, tips. Yeah, it is very different. Like here, what I would call an 8-point, you guys would call a 4-point. Like a 4x4. I forget, I've asked this question so many times, but a 9-point, a 4x5. Do you guys call that just a 4x5? I always forget what the actual answer to that question ends up being. Did you ever work on a farm? I grew up on a farm, so I did plenty of, like, unpaid farm labor. And then I also worked for 3 or 4 years on a different farm where I was paid very minimally. Good experience. Well, not like, hey, that was a fun experience, but it's good, like, life experience. And you know, learning how to do hard work and all that. Probably why I ended up doing this. Well, or partially why I ended up doing this for a living. I'm not a huge fan. The farm that I worked on that I didn't grow up on, that one was like a pretty big dairy business, so most of their equipment's newer and better and not breaking every 12 seconds. I've said this many times, but my dad's a hobby farmer, and the thing that always killed me about doing almost anything farm-related was a 45-minute task probably takes 4 hours because you have to fix the 2 machines that you need in order to do that task first. Oh, is that right, Pixel? I thought I could pull the wool over your eyes. How do I get into real life hunting? So I've had quite a few streams where I try to answer this question, and I don't know that I ever do a really adequate job of it. I guess the first thing is it depends on where you're from. If you're in the US, you're probably going to want to take a hunter safety course, unless you're under the age of 12. Actually, it might not be 12 in every state. In PA, it's 12. But the biggest thing is if you can find like a family member or a friend, something, you know, someone that you know that's into hunting that can maybe help to show you the ropes. That's one of the biggest things. Like, it's really tough. It is a fairly expensive thing to get into. If you grow up in a hunting family, usually, like, whether it's birthdays or Christmas or, like, whatever, you'll have maybe the occasional new, you know, set of boots or something that can be used for hunting. And all kinds of hand-me-down gear. Like, if Kyla, for instance, who hunted with me a bunch last year, I had enough, like, extra old gear and stuff to completely have her geared up. Like, she can hunt on her own with all this, you know, stuff that I've accrued over the years. And I think that can be said for almost anybody you might know. Like Cody said, friends to hunt with, though. Experience is the best teacher. If you can just get out and do it, that'll help. But if you can get somebody to kind of get you in the right area, it might shave maybe even a couple years off the experience necessary to kind of learn what you're doing. Another thing that is important, and again, this kind of depends on your age, having some degree of success fairly early on can be a pretty good indicator of, like, say, getting the hunting bug, let's call it. If you compare, like, my brother and I was really lucky. I killed a little 5-point buck on my second hunt ever. My dad took me out. Things just worked out. Ended up shooting a little 5-point at like 100 yards. For the next, like, 10 years, I was basically, and I'm still addicted to hunting, but 10-year timeline supporting here, I was basically addicted. It took my brother, I think, 5 years to end up getting his first buck. And while he still, you know, would go and still enjoyed it, it just wasn't quite to the same level of, like, crazy about it that I was. Now, he's kind of started to get to that point later on. In the last 3 to 4 years, he's gotten into it way more. But having, like, some early success can make a huge difference, too. Everyone's dad just gets them into it for the most part, yeah. But for those that, you know, maybe their dad doesn't hunt or, you know, whatever the case may be, a friend or a relative is a huge thing. Idea for an app, Tinder, but for hunting buddies and mentors, you gotta be careful with that. You show up and suddenly you're the game animal, that ain't good. My first hunt, I got a 9-point buck, there you go. Got my first buck in my first hunt, and it was a... Oh, are you saying it was like a brow tine away from being a perfect 8? Am I reading that right? We have a mentor system where I live. By mentoring a kid, you can earn points towards a license for life. Great way to introduce kids to hunting while also teaching them gun safety. Yeah, the gun safety thing is something that definitely is maybe underappreciated from those that are kind of outside the hunting world. I think of that a lot, like how... Okay, Shadow. How, I guess starting with, like, even a BB gun, like how, little things that my dad would do to, like, teach gun safety, how much they've helped. Finally got some bullets to reload for my 25-06, just need to find powder and primers, which is looking for a unicorn right now. Yeah, I'm looking to, one day I want to get a reloading desk. My dad has one, so I don't know if that's something that will ever end up getting passed down. I wouldn't be surprised if my brother ends up with that, because my brother's a lot more of like a good at building things type, so he's probably better off with it. But I do want to reload ammo. But anyway, ammo in general feels like looking for a unicorn in some ways, finding the particular kind of ammo that you want. I'm thinking here shortly I'm gonna go to the little outdoor store that I used to go to and see if they have the kind I want, or if they can get it in, because I get the feeling it could take a while. What is the story behind 12? Okay, so it's a long story. I'll give you the short version. Basically, one of my moderators, the youngest moderator at the time, we used to just, this is Discord moderators. He was a YouTube mod too, but Discord is the place where this occurred. We used to just make fun of him for being young, like not mean, you know, like, hey, you're the youngest one, you're 12. Discord terms of service require you to be 13 to have an account. He wasn't 12, he was like 17 or something, but we would say he's 12 as if he's too young to even have an account. Dumb joke. Eventually, I can't remember if he like disciplined someone or maybe banned or kicked, I don't know what happened, but anyway, someone that, you know, decided they didn't like him, found a screenshot of him saying I'm 12 because he was playing into the meme, and they reported his account and got him banned. And then literally the next day I shot a 12 scoring bison in Yukon, and something about that event just confirmed the 12ness, and now it's just the biggest meme. Yeah, John, that's a big thing, especially as ammo becomes a lot more difficult to get your hands on. I do certainly hope to get to that point one day. That and tie my own flies. Those are two things that I want to do down the road. Oh, she's just barking at nothing? That's good. I swear sometimes she just thinks she'll get attention if she barks, so she does it. What's up, Redneck? Just got my dies for my 45-120. I was on 3 waitlist for 18 months. Goodness gracious. I feel like getting into reloading is going to be difficult. They're both rabbit holes of hobbies. Yeah, they are. I'm the guy that will spend way too much money on that at the beginning, and then for the next like 4 years I won't have to spend any money on it at all because I have spent too much and I need to use up the stuff that I bought. I gotta be careful about stuff like that. What is the best Great One grind? I'd say that's fairly subjective. Like, if you don't like black bears, you're probably not going to enjoy the black bear Great One grind. I'd say the whitetail tends to be the easiest in terms of the average whitetail grind to get a Great One. Just based on like the numbers we've seen in the community over the couple of years they've existed, it seems to be the lowest for like the amount of deer you have to kill. That doesn't mean that your grind, for instance, would be the shortest. You could go out and kill 1 deer and a Great One respawns. You never know. But on average, the whitetail tends to be kind of the easiest. Ordered dies with the 25-6 off Amazon. Set of RCBS full-length dies for $68. That's not too bad. What's up, Roman? I like how I keep abandoning this raccoon dog track and then I keep accidentally finding it again. Best map to get money? Probably Te Awaroa between red deer and fallow deer. It could be pretty lucrative shooting a bunch of them. Just joined, did I miss anything? 7 minutes into the stream we shot a diamond caper Kaylee. Since then, bunch of kind of average size stuff. Got my Great One red deer in 100 kills. I'm so happy about that because I'm the only one in my friend group that got it. Got some bragging rights in there. Got it quick too, I assume, at 100 kills. Hello. Oh, okay. Any of you guys special? That was kind of special. You should do a video on Layton and see what it's like after the reset. Eventually I'm gonna go. So I think I talked about this on stream a little bit, but I'll explain a little further. So Revontuli on its own, because we've spent a lot of time here and because we were here for a good chunk of time even before black bear were discovered to be the new Great One, I was already kind of used to it and kind of already really enjoying it. And then when it was discovered that black bear were the next Great One that was added, then we started going to hunt those. I could be wrong, but I think if I were to start to branch out to other maps, I'm going to want to hunt those and find out all the cool things that are on those maps, as opposed to just putting the time in and trying to get the black bear grind done. So I'm trying to stick with just SRP and Revontuli until hopefully we can get the bear. I would like to think we're not that far off. 2,850 kills. I think I should be able to put in pretty significant time this week still. We'll kind of see how that goes, but tomorrow's video, for instance, is the West Virginia hunt, so I don't have too much to do with that. That video is basically already done since it's been uploaded to the Me Hunters channel and aired on Wild TV and all that good stuff. It should not be very hard to find time to you know, do some extra bear hunting. Maybe this week will be the week. One can only hope. I bet you have at least 12 more black bears before your great one. You're probably right. I think I do have a better grasp on why I actually like the black bear grind now. I'll probably talk a bit more about that in what is likely to be Thursday's video. I think that's the next time we're going to get after black bear, but it's close. I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm starting to feel like it's getting closer to the determination to get a great one black bear, as opposed to this, it's just fun to go and shoot black bear kind of thing. Should I get one of the hoodies? It's up to you. I guess it depends which hoodies you mean, but if you're talking about the merchandise lane ones that Kava does, they're quite soft. Do you use herd management on black bear? I do not. For a couple of reasons, and maybe I shouldn't get into the whole reason that I don't do it, but honestly the biggest thing is if anything, it kind of seems like those who have been doing herd management don't see it happening any faster than those that just kind of hunt them and shoot all the males. For that reason alone, I'm kind of just like, well, the thing that I did on the last two worked. I don't, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. If I get any of the great ones, I want to take them with a different shotgun. That's a cool idea. I like it. Got all swole. It's a good problem to have. I actually dried in the truck up a bit. No one needs to know that the first reasoning's good. Do you use herd management on whitetail? I don't use herd management on anything. I feel now. I should also say that I attempted herd management in the past. I didn't know what kind of results could be achieved with it, and I'll be honest, I don't like it. The amount of diamonds that people are able to get is the point where I've seen people just don't even care about the diamonds anymore. They just shoot them with the 300. I don't want to get to that point. I want diamonds to still be special. So for me, I'd rather just leave the randomness up to the game, not try to do anything to influence spawns outside of just make as many good shots as I can. And, you know, what's the saying? Let the cards fall where they may? Let the dominoes fall where they may. I could go for some Domino's pizza if that's what that's talking about, but I don't think it is. My goodness. That was rough. A Camo 12 hoodie for hunting season. We need to look into 12 hoodies and such. So one thing that we experimented with last year, and we'll maybe see if we can figure out a way to do it, is Camo Orange Vest. Because we had the camo hats and orange hats. I was wearing a camo orange vest, a 12 orange vest when I shot my big male last year. So I kind of want to see if we can work them into a thing, but they're hard to get a hold of, like wholesale or whatever. They become not as special for me, but I'm after super rares and great ones, so diamonds are just cool to get along the way. It's just, I don't know. I try to make sure that I don't take the diamonds for granted. And even with the black bears, you know, I'm at, whatever it is, 16 diamonds now. Every level 9 I see, I'm still like, hey, you know, that's a good change of pace. I haven't seen anything good in a while. it's just, I don't know, I'm so afraid of getting to the point where I don't even care if I find a diamond anymore. I just feel like that's the point where I stop playing the game, and I have no desire to push myself towards that. Zip-up hoodie. They are good for hunting purposes, especially me. I get questioned about wearing face paint so often. I just find it works. I don't understand why everybody hates it so much, but I gotta make sure I have my hoodie on first, or that's a problem. Something interesting for me, at least, though, is I just can't get into using this for other species. With bears, I just blast everything. I think it depends on how effective it is, probably, but you probably haven't messed with whitetail much since you had a fair number of great ones before then. Good place to generally find ptarmigan hemadol, like the west side of the map, northwest and kind of center west especially. Zip up, hecka expensive. I like that, hecka. My next black bear video is going to be called shooting hecka big males. What's up, Charlie? Merch in black? We do have the black hoodies on Merchandise Lane. I wore, in 2020 rifle season, I wore a black 12 hoodie under my coat every day, hoping that I could shoot something to like pose behind it in the 12 hoodie. Never did get anything in rifle. It was most unfortunate. But in 2021, the 12 hat and vest well, I shouldn't say got me, but I had him on when I had the biggest male I've ever seen. What shotgun are you using? The 16 gauge from Rancho del Arroyo. Thoughts about Silver Ridge? I think it's a good map. I do wish there was another antlered species on there. I don't know what it would be. Mule deer, Rocky Mountain elk. You could feasibly put whitetail on a map like that, but you know, we've got plenty of whitetail maps, so I wouldn't want it to be that. Maybe blacktail? You're not really far enough west to get blacktail there. I don't know. I just wish there was one more antler species. I like antler species. That's what it comes down to. Not a realism thing, just that I like to hunt things with antlers. Anything good lately? The last hour and a half, not so much. 7 minutes into the stream, we killed our biggest diamond caper Kaylee, though, so that was nice. Why can't they make the 12 gauge pump iron sights look normal? I wouldn't be upset if they kind of altered them, but one thing to maybe keep in mind is, and I know this isn't the best thing for those that don't want to spend money, but it probably is more likely to get players to spend money on shotguns with better sights, or weapon packs that contain such things, or map DLCs that contain such things. Starting to lose hope. 5.5 kills in, and a super rare, but no great one. Which species are you grinding for? Ooh, I like it. Manitoba map with a great one, Rosie. I think a great one elk, it's got to be in the next, like, 3, right? Surely. I can't imagine. I mean, elk are the North American equivalent of big, majestic red deer. Surely that's got to happen, right? Wrestle with Bear, thank you for the super chat. If you could add any predator to the game, what would it be? For me, it would be leopard. I will say, when they were teasing lions, they didn't make any hint too obvious, so I actually thought it was going to be leopards for a while and was pretty excited about that. So leopards would be cool. I'm also trying to weigh into this decision what could make a cool great one, but I'm not really getting very far. I think Arctic fox or Arctic wolf could be neat. Actually, I kind of feel like we're missing wolverines too. I'm thinking of like Alaskan Adventures animals, but that or I wouldn't be upset with the Kodiak bear. I know the grizzly bears on Yukon, to me they look more like Kodiak bears, but I mean, heck, call something else Kodiak bears that look a little bit different. Easy work. Hope the next great one's wild boar. If they do wild boar, it's gotta be very special. And I think they did it correctly with black bears, so I'm more optimistic they could do wild boar properly. Now, I've seen a lot of chat about them doing like a Hogazilla type thing. I think that's a cool idea. Wolverines on Yukon? Yeah, I'd like it. Give me Arctic Wolves on Medved and I won't leave that map. Arctic Wolves on Medved would make that. It would just, the level of special would go up dramatically. Like, yeah, musk deer are cool. Reindeer are pretty neat. What else is exclusive to that map? Brown bear aren't anymore. Is there anything? Moose aren't. Lynx aren't anymore. That might be it. I mean, yeah, Arctic Wolves, just they put it into another category. Still saying the next 2 to 3 great ones will be base map animals, moose, then fallow. You know one thing that's probably kind of relevant there? They did moose Truax, and if I recall, fallow Truax were not far behind that. And it kind of makes sense because doing palmated Truax would be tough. They might have a little bit of a concept going from one to the other, so that could make a lot of sense. For great ones, you can only do Roosevelt elk for elk species because it has to be on maps that are free. I mean, it can't stay like that forever because eventually they're going to run out of species. I don't think mallard, European rabbit, white-tailed jackrabbit, maybe red fox, but those 3 small game species and really Canada geese, I don't see those becoming great ones, at least not before other species on other maps. So, you know, there's only so many options. Eventually, they have to kind of branch out, but no, I do agree. And honestly, as much as I really like the Rocky Mountain elk, I think a Rosie could be cooler. Roosevelt elk are interesting in real life. They've borderline almost made them too big in Call of the Wild, but you could do some interesting stuff for a great one Rosie. You could do interesting for a great one Rocky too, but you know, Rosies could be very special, I guess is all I'm getting at. Where'd that rabbit go? That ain't it. Did it go that way? Oh yeah. Yeeting across out there, just a little tiny thing. Oof. At least we got it. What is a good gun with not a lot of recoil? The 308 AR-10's got probably the most power for least recoil ratio in the game. What's an animal you hope they add? Stone sheep. Or doll sheep. I like them both. Clutch smoked, yeah, the last shot where I could actually see the thing. Snow leopard? That one might be borderline kind of like completely not hunted. Aren't snow leopards like protected? I always want to check the disturbed veg on the capercaillies. Their rares are quite nice. Just a common dark though. Went to an elk reservation with 15,000 elk. That's pretty neat. I don't think Benazet PA is an elk reservation, but I also don't know the numbers, and now I feel like asking. What kind of weapon would you like to see in the future Call of the Wild? I do think we're due for a shotguns weapon pack. You know, given the fact that we just got small game heaven out here in Revontuli Coast. Something like, I wouldn't even think doing a 12 gauge semi-auto would be an awful idea. Take the Maisto in the Hunter Classic. Maybe make it like a, I don't know, you could do a 3-shot mag much like the 22. You could do a 6, I guess. That might be a little excessive. But yeah, A little more power in a semi-auto could be nice. 410 shotgun. We have that in the pistol, almost like a Taurus Judge, which are notoriously oofs, depending on who you ask. Have you ever been to Wisconsin, and do you think their hunting or fishing is good? I have not. I know Dee hunted out there for a long time. He had pretty good success. They must have decent hunting. If you could shoot any super rare, what would it be? I've often said a Bighorn's Leucistic Diamond Cape Buffalo. I think that would be my number one. Albino Diamond Rocky Mountain Elk would be a high second as well. It's called the Wild recently updated. Wasn't there a hotfix? I think there might have been. What do you want the next great one to be? If I could choose, it'd be Mule Deer 100%. I have said this many times, and honestly they should do typical and non-typical, but if you look at some of the record non-typical mule deer, you don't need to exaggerate. Like, they are that big and that impressive. Like, the big rack Great One whitetail is kind of exaggerated, is kind of overdone to make it, you know, super impressive. The mule deer, you know, record non-typicals are just so big, that wouldn't even be necessary. They could basically copy and paste. Now, there might be some kind of weird, like, I don't think you can copyright antlers, but, you know, they should change it up for the sake of not just copying something that is 100%, you know, done from real life, but basically using that for inspiration, they could do something pretty cool. What was hotfixed? I think crashes or something. I swear I saw that in my general chat today. I love the 20 gauge automatic. It's great for ducks, and now that you can knock geese, it's a lot better. Yet, the only thing is that capacity. I have a tendency to miss a shot or two before I kind of get on target, and that leaves me with one shot with the 20 gauge sometimes. I do like it. I use it a ton, but I've kind of really enjoyed the 16 gauge lately. I was hoping we were going to find some black grouse in here. I guess they're more this way. I know we just got a million birds, but I want to see doves. What would be a dove's weight in kilograms? I'm trying to compare to like a hazel grouse or something. What's the smallest bird we have in the game now? It would be the hazel grouse, I think. A dove would be 10% that size, maybe 20% that size. It'd be pretty small. It'd be a small thing for the game to render, but it could be neat. Oh, the bobwhite quail, that's right. Forgot about them. Nice, John. There's a female rabbit. Running off. These turns. She's got jukes. I got no breath. Alright, it's fine. Not gonna pursue that for too long. Could go off the wingspan. I wasn't even talking about scoring. I was just talking about, like, in terms of size, it would still be like, what, 0.2 kg or something? Glad I'm not the only one that forgets quail exists. Dude, I got my diamond and I don't care. I'd like an albino, but they just aren't fun. Like, they flush from too far away. If they made them closer to pheasants, I would enjoy them more, but when they fly from that far, and half the time, the way the scoring is, you don't get any level 3s. You're just hoping for the best. Like, I just don't enjoy them nearly enough. Doves would be 117 to 170 grams. That's not too far off the quail then, huh? Yeah, maybe it would be doable. If you want a dove, just get an albino quail. At least morning doves here are closer to like the common quail. They're like a tan and brown. Doves are delicious. We used to do... So, my friend and I don't know, when we were 12, 13 years old, something like that, would have dove hunting competitions. This part really isn't that relevant, but we would have a $1 bet every year whoever killed more doves, you know, the other person had to give them $1. I think $1 ever changed hands like once. We really never actually cared about that. It was just a reason for us to go hunt doves. But the ones we would get, Dad would do some kind of like bacon wrapped dove thing. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was very good. Hello? I don't have a clue what I just shot or shot at. I don't think we hit it. It's a female anyway. It looked a little light. I was hoping it was a rare male. No such luck. I don't know if... yeah, it would have been basically that lane. I don't know if it was just bacon wrapped or what exactly it was. You're a dove? Are you saying that I'm a symbol of peace? I'll take that. If you're saying I'm a bird brain, then that's kind of harsh, man. I've been looking at loads of your videos and I'm really interested in the game. Do you think I should get it? If you're interested in really any way, shape, or form in like hunting game simulation, this is as good as it gets. 100% would recommend it. It's a good time as well with Revontuli Coast coming out. This map's pretty new. Lots of stuff to explore out there. Are you the same one? Why not? No, you poop on cars? I told you to keep that a secret, man. Some things can't be shared with the public. That's pigeons? It don't matter what bird it is around here, they'll do it. They think my truck is a perfect place. Good landing site. Do you IRL predator hunt? I've attempted it a bit. It's something I kind of want to get into more. There's a coyote or two that just run around this property a lot. And I just don't have the means to hunt them. Like, I need to get a caller of some kind. On a fairly regular basis, early in the morning, they run right down the property line. I really think I could call one in and get it. I'd like to film that. Maybe when we start to get cooler mornings here, like 50 degrees and stuff, if I can spare a couple $100, I'll get a Fox Pro and try to get one. Can we use feeders for deer in PA? You can use feeders like in the summer to get trail camera pictures and stuff, but for any species, deer, bear, turkey, 30 days before the season you have to have your feeder. I don't know if it has to just be empty or taken down. I think it's taken down. Oh, nice, David. When you get above level 40, how often do you get more skill points? I think it's every other level. Meese, where are we? Oh. It almost looked like we were up in the swamp in the far north. It's a cool area. Let's just run straight through here. Straight north and see what's in between these lakes. Do you ever fish, and what's your favorite to fish? I do. I prefer trout. Like, the reason is I don't have like an area where that's fairly close by where I could fish bass in moving water. I just like moving water. For one, there's just something about trying to, you know, get a lure to just perfectly start to whip around as you get tension in your line as it comes down the current. There's something about like the technicality of that I really enjoy. But the other thing is just there's more movement to it. There's more like, okay, go try the next spot in moving water. Whereas in, you know, a dam or a pond or even like a lake, it's just kind of like, well, I guess I'll try over here because it's not the same spot. Like, outside of cover and stuff, there's not nearly as much to kind of go on. Like, you can see a hole in a creek and you can know, like, all right, good chance there's fish laying there. You can see different, I mean, cover exists in creeks and rivers and stuff too. It's all that stuff that goes into it, really. And here, trout are the main fish that you would fish for that way. Thoughts on bait casters? I've never used one. My brother does. I'm a simple-minded lad. I've really enjoyed fly fishing though. I'm more likely to grab my fly rod than spinning tackle of any kind these days. If you host multiplayer and all the pop and hunter pressure translates into your single player map, yes. So if you host multiplayer and, you know, everybody in your session in total kills like 200 animals, all those respawns translate into single player, yeah. These 2 lakes are good for whitetail. I think we're a little late for whitetail. I wish it was whitetail drink time. I wouldn't be shocked if we have some thickens hanging around. Have we shot any big whitetail since release? That albino doe was release day. I think the 2 diamonds we got were both early access. I can see where this would be a good whitetail lake. There is plenty of space for them to drink around here. Okay, that guy's gonna give us the chance at a neck shot or a heart shot. What? I thought that was good. I reject your reality and substitute my own, where I didn't make a single lung shot, I made a heart shot. Day's been good, Dominic. A lot of black bear grinding this morning. Since the video for tomorrow is the West Virginia hunt, already aired on the Meat Hunters channel, that video is basically completely done, so I've just been trying to get some black bear grind stuff done. Lots of Call of the Wild today. No Great One black bear has been shoosted, though, I can tell you that much. 308 versus moose? I thought the 308 still shot a little bit to the right. I'm curious to see where that hit. Revontuli solos Rancho and Leighton when it comes to whitetail? I don't know what solos means, but if you're saying Revontuli is better, then I agree. Nothing better than a heart shot on a diamond? It's one of the most satisfying things, if you, especially like a big animal, and even more especially if you put a smaller caliber into the mix, maybe a 308 on a moose, you know, if you can actually make a heart shot on like me. It's pretty satisfying when they just kind of faceplant. Yeah, especially like 308 or something, it's a pretty long track, Will. How long have you been playing? From the very beginning. Favorite type of meat? Gotta say, I'm a sucker for venison. Of basically any kind. Backstraps? I've got... I think... Is it just one? I can't remember. I want to say there's 2 of my buck's backstraps from last year, and they're just huge in the downstairs freezer, and I cannot wait to make something out of them. Well, I was sort of hopeful that was going to be a male, but we take what we can get. Next shot is more satisfying. It is a smaller margin of error. Well, that didn't hit high or right. It's farther than I shot. Thought it was. 186, but not quite what I thought was going to happen. Where are you, grouse? Does it land? Oh. Another female. I don't see a lot of males and females together. It's primarily groups of males and groups of females, or flocks, some might say. Cooking a deer sauce. Is it piquant? I don't even know how to say that. I don't know what that is, but if there's deer in it, I bet it's good. Elk is the best meat. My thing is, I know I'm not going to get consistent elk meat. Unless I become, like, big male elk hunter, which may be one day. But what we do, and again, venison backstrap, this doesn't apply to, but as far as, like, ground venison goes, we mix in some beef fat, which is relatively inexpensive, and it just enhances the quality considerably. If you could only play one, and view count had no input, would you keep Classic or Call of the Wild? I think... So does future development matter? Or are they staying as they are? Because if they're staying as they are, like if neither game's ever getting any new content, I'm probably going Classic. because it's going to take me longer to like accomplish goals, just because, you know, trophy animals, the classic, are generally a little harder to come by. If they're going to continue to get content, especially at the rate that they are right now, I'll go Call of the Wild, because I'm going to get more new stuff more frequently. As in currently, yeah, I'd go classic, because it's got a better replayability factor in that realism side of things. But because I really think the reason I play Call of the Wild the amount I do is that every time I kind of start to get a little bit like, you know, maybe I'm getting bored of the game, maybe I've kind of exhausted the latest new map or new species or whatever, right about then a new map comes out. It's just a perfect release schedule to where I never really get that bored of Call of the Wild. But without the news or the stream of new content consistently, I don't know that I could say that. One time my friend shot a rock thinking it was an animal. I don't know if you're talking about real life or in game, but that reminded me. We used to hunt squirrels in the pasture, not while cows were in it. I need to make that distinction. Like, the cows would be in the barn, and there was a corn crib that the squirrels would go up to and try to get to. So in the fall, you know, once squirrel season starts, this is before my brother and I would archery hunt. So my dad would just take us in there and we'd try to kill some of the squirrels so they wouldn't, you know, eat all the corn. I don't know, I truly don't know how this happened, but there was a squirrel hopping up, you know, heading up to us. My turn to shoot, my brother and I would switch back and forth. And my dad hands me the gun, gets me all ready to go, and it went behind a tree, and I guess maybe I blinked or something, and I thought that it came back out, and I shot a nice thick cow patty, thinking that was the squirrel. I killed it though and never moved. The cow patty, I mean. The squirrel got away unscathed. What's your biggest deer in real life? The one that I got this past year was an official net non-typical score of 171 and 3/8. It was a gross 180 and 6/8 green, which is the score I care about. Story time of Flinter, the time I shot poop. Good times. Do you like Hunting Sim 2? They got a lot of stuff right, but the animal models just... You can only shoot so many elk that don't look anything like an elk until you get bored, you know? I guess so, Danny. Bit of a stinky trophy. It was really a crappy situation, I gotta say. Oh my. If you could make a map, what would you put in it? I'm trying to think of something that would be fairly new as far as species go. One other Africa map, probably. I would do Impala, Greater Kudu, probably hyenas. Might do lions again or leopards, one of those two. Black wildebeest, eland, maybe sable. Hippos could be interesting, crocs, something like that. No more crappy puns. Story was kind of crap, to be honest. You're gonna start a beef with me. Beef. I don't know if that pun translated very well. I just got here. What did I miss? We got a diamond caper Kaylee about an hour and 51 minutes ago, right at the start of the stream. That's been it as far as big males. Lots of kills, a whole ton of ptarmigan, fair number of raccoon dogs. I'm hoping to stumble into a black grouse or a hazel grouse or something here before we wrap up, but they've been hiding from us pretty well. Is spirit variation for brown bear rare? It's an uncommon. Poo puns? Hey, you're never too old for a poo pun. You haven't felt pain unless you've had a calf that you really liked and raised to adulthood, then butchered and ate it. Scarred 6-year-old me for life. You know, I guess I just grew up like that. That never bugged me for some weird reason. Maybe it didn't occur to me. I don't remember how that went. I seem to remember thinking all the cattle we had were quite cool. There was quite a number of them that, like, you know, you see them born as a calf, and as a kid, you're just like, oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And then it grows to be like a 1-ton bull and gets butchered and is meat for like an entire year or more. I don't remember that bothering me. Maybe it did. Party pooper. Light brown hazel grouse rare? I don't know. Someone here might, but I do not. Favorite diamond? At the risk of being told I'm gloating or something again, the piebald diamond gray fox, I think that was the most rare diamond. It was the most thing I've ever shot. That's that. The most rare thing I've ever shot, great one or otherwise. What is the arrow weight you use in real life? I'm gonna have to I'll check with TK and see. I don't know what the stingers are. We're using the meat seeker stingers this year. I don't know what weight they are actually. I know no, that chart wasn't for the stingers though. Yeah, I'm not even sure what they're gonna be this year. You have the most thing too? No way. Out here twinning. Alright, there has to be a thing. Even if it's a moose. I guess we'll shoot a moose then. I choose that one. Odds that we make a heart shot, 12%. Definitely not a heart shot. There's a chance that actually was too low. It would have been close. Alright. Perhaps we'll find a different one. Oh boy, we're miles from another lake. Probably should have just focused on getting a long shot. I just didn't want to track things. That's what I get. What's up, Just Have Fun? Stream's been pretty good. You know what, actually, rather than running around the hills looking for non-existent birds, why don't we go back to the trophy lodge and place the diamond capercaillie we got? That might be a better idea. Are leucistic reindeer rare? Yes. If you have the most thing, then I'll probably find the most thing in like 12.12 hours. That seems to be likely, actually. If you had a chance at any rare, what would it be? An albino sika deer, probably? How many diamonds do you have? 925. We happened to look earlier this stream. Okay, so where might one put a capercaillie? Do we just replace one of the other capercaillies? Maybe so. So whichever one of these was shot later, that's 1054. It's 1017. Okay, so the one on the right is smaller. We'll put up the new one from today, which is a little bit bigger. The mirrored poses don't work, which kind of bugs me. I hope they fix that. I don't particularly love any of those, so we'll just do that. 4.7, I didn't even look. What was the... Oh, it's 4.70. Alright. A little bit bigger than the last, not by a ton, but it still is our biggest one. Can you do a multi with the capers? You can do it. I just don't know where I would put it. Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah. Let's do that. I know what we can take down. We'll put the old one back. Glad you said that. Danny is here to save the day. Okay. Trophy manager. Nope. Trophy mouse, whatever it's called. Not that one. Is it at the bottom? Yes. Okay. So we got diamond today, 4.70. We got a bright from the day we killed the other diamonds. And an ochre, however you say that, from also today. And what we'll take down is this diamond gray fox. Don't need him there, although I kind of liked him there. I think a multi-mount's a better idea. It is neat. The hens, I guess they're called hens for capercaillie as well, are both uncommons in the bright and the ochre. Not bad. Yeah. Is ochre rare? It's an uncommon. I don't even know what the rare female capercaillies are. I haven't seen one posted anywhere in the community, but I know bright and ochre are like an uncommon. So, yeah, we'll give Danny his bonus for saving the day. But on that note, with diamond capercaillie and a little uncommon female in that multi-mount as well added to the lodge, that's going to do it for the stream. So, as always, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support. and I'll see you in tomorrow's video, little real life hunt in West Virginia with Bottom Boy, who was in here in the chat today. Bye!